Hello everyone. So Ukraine has hit two Su-27 fighters of Russia's at Belbek Air Base. These photos here show the fighter jets in the sight of FP-1 or FP-2 attack drones. One of the Su-27s was fully armed and preparing for a combat mission, and so was reportedly completely destroyed. Additionally, this one here had a crew person, either an engineer preparing the aircraft or possibly the pilot outside it doing something. And this image too, which is a bit more blurred, shows a crew member running for cover as the drone approaches. So, an excellent strike here. This is the latest in a set of photos Ukraine has released showing strikes on Russian targets, but without the video footage. Usually, these drone strikes, the video footage has been released quickly. I'm wondering if this might be because the drones have been modified somewhat and Ukraine doesn't want to give that away. Possibly with some type of AI assisted targeting or similar. These drones are manually guided. We have confirmation of that from past videos, but the HUD has always been blank with no AI targeting here, so it's up to the operator to find and seek out the targets and hit them. So, if Ukraine has modified them to now use AI assistance to show key targets and the like, that could be the reason why we're just seeing screenshots now rather than the videos, because Ukraine doesn't want to give its capabilities away, lest it tip Russia off about them. Mark Glass on Twitter did the geolocation for this, putting both aircraft hit as being here. One, near an aircraft shelter, having just been removed most likely when Ukraine hit it. The other was further to the right near one of the taxiways. Ukraine has been hitting Russian aviation a lot lately. These strikes following on from a MiG-31 destroyed here a few days ago, which I'm going to have a look at the end of this video. So these strikes on Crimea are happening almost nightly now, with Russian air defence eroded thanks to Ukraine hitting the radars and launchers. Russia had 101 Su-27s in service at the start of the war. 3 are confirmed as destroyed so far, not including these two. So, Su-27s are Russian fighter jets and they entered service in the 1980s, so they are a bit outdated. We don't see these used too much in Ukraine so far. Air defence work over Ukraine itself and glide bomb attacks targeting Ukrainian positions in Ukrainian cities are usually given to aircraft such as the Su-30, the Su-34 and the Su-35. So these are a bit rarer, but we do see them operating, carrying out coastal patrols around Crimea itself and guarding the airspace. We have seen video footage of Su-27s trying to destroy Ukrainian marine drones in the past, for example. So they are still used, but typically around Crimea rather than the mainland of Ukraine. But still, a nice strike here by Ukraine, hitting two valuable aircraft of Russia's. And again, it's another big failing of Russian air defence here. The air bases in Crimea at the moment just seem to be easy pickings for Ukraine at the moment. So that's it for this video. But now, I'm going to also attach a video which I did about the MiG-31 at the end, as I never got around to releasing it, and I might as well include it here as a Brucey bonus. Thanks so much, and take care everybody. Hello everyone, some good news. So yesterday Ukraine shared photos of a drone strike at Belbek airfield in Crimea. This was using either FP-1 or FP-2 attack drones. Surprisingly, no video has been shared yet. Ukraine has just shared the screenshots, but hopefully we'll get a video shared soon. Multiple targets were hit here, and we're going to start with the biggest prize, a MiG-31 fighter jet. The cockpits are open here, so it may have been preparing to be boarded by the crew at the time. A few sources are saying it had a full ammo loadout, but I'm personally not seeing it myself. This is a major target, because MiG-31s are the aircraft that Russia uses to launch Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, which do kinda suck. There is satellite images showing them falling hundreds of meters away from airfields they've been launched at, but that does make them very dangerous to civilians, however, and these have hit many apartment buildings and stuff in the past, either deliberately or just because they have zero accuracy and Russia doesn't care. Probably a big mix of both. So the MiG-31, a major target. 4 of these have been destroyed so far, with Flight Global putting 128 in service at the start of the war. So Russia does have a lot of these still in service, unfortunately. These cost 30 to 50 million a pop. Next, this shows a strike on a Pantsir short-range SAM system. The Pantsir is notable for its ability to intercept Russian apartment buildings. At the start of the war, Russia had 116 of these in service, but deliveries have continued, and I think delivery numbers have been high, given how many of these we see scattered around Russia. Russia thinks very highly of the Pantsir for some reason and deploys them to protect key targets. 35 have been destroyed so far confirmed, but the true number is higher as some of the ones which are hit, notably by FP-1 and FP-2 drones, haven't been added to Oryx. Putin has a dozen personally guarding his palace, Moscow has around a dozen or so encircling it, and we also have unspecified amounts guarding the Russian air bases within range of Ukraine, and other key targets like the ports and things. The positions of those either confirmed like this one after being destroyed there, videos of Ukrainian attacks show the Pantsirs firing near those targets, or even satellite imagery. So Russia does have quite a few Pantsirs knocking around, but now they have one less. These cost around 12 million. Here, a Nebo SVU radar, which is part of a Nebo U radar complex. These are long-range air detection radars, and whilst not officially part of the S300 or S400, they can be integrated with those systems. Sadly, it isn't known how many of these are destroyed, because many of them are hit by FP-1 drones and FP-2 drones. These drones don't use spotter drones to record the impact, they operate independently of them. So we actually can't confirm if they were destroyed or damaged in these strikes, so Oryx and War Spotting don't add them. Oryx shows just 5, but regular viewers of the channel will definitely recall, I think, that I mentioned these quite a lot in strikes using FP-1 drones. So they are a regular target, and many more of them have been hit by Ukraine. It isn't known how many Russia had in service. They're out of production now, so everyone destroyed is one gone permanently. Finally, a 92N6 radar, which is a component of the S400 SAM system. This one you can see looks like they've surrounded the radar system with a sort of metal cage to try and protect it from drones. We saw this on a video I did a few days ago, that Russia has started putting these in a sort of coat cage. The cage doesn't seem to be attached to the system itself, but is rather a position where it's driven into in order to operate. They don't seem like they'll work very well though, as there's a big hole in the top of the cage with the radar sticking out, so they are still quite vulnerable. Again, it isn't known how many of these actually that Russia has lost in the war so far, or how many Russia had. But the radar is the key target, as a S400 system has multiple launchers, but only one of each type of radar. Take the radar offline and the rest of the battery can't operate. And here is a little map showing the area of the strike put together by Tendar on Twitter. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting, and it's always nice to see strikes by FP-1 drones, especially here hitting the MiG-31 fighter jet. Hope you found the video interesting. Now I'm going to play a video from Cars for Ukraine about the fundraiser that they're doing. Thanks so much, and take care, everybody.
Ми, бійці 104-го БР-4 БАТу, взводу ударних безпілотних авіаційних комплексів «Бісові діти». Зараз знаходимося на Константинівському напрямку і де щоденно відбиваємо штурми ворога та знищуємо московитів з повітря. Наразі потребуємо пікап для відновлення бойових завдань. Звертаємось до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандеромобіль з проханням допомогти з купівлею, підготовкою та доставкою авто, а також до Джека і його YouTube-спільноти Сухомімус з проханням допомогти підтримати збір. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!